Thank you very much, Zimbabwe. Good to be with you again. This is the People's Commissar, Honorable Temba Mliswa. Once again, Tichina Chochinu Chedu. I want to comment on the budget, which was recently read by Honorable Patrick Chinamasa, the Minister of Finance and Economic Development. I think what is critical for us to understand is that for the first time, there's been clarity in terms of the indigenization law. It's no longer there. And I think that clarity certainly attracts foreign direct investment because there's no one who wants to put in money where they cannot get their money back. Of course, what will certainly be on the downside is the fact that some companies had already complied with indigenization law. So what happens? I suppose it's now water under the bridge. Yateoka. That certainly will create employment. It will allow a situation where the economy is liberalized. And by being liberalized, it means that anybody can do whatever they want, but ultimately the market will dictate the best price for the day. It is also important for us to appreciate the fact that government expenditure was cut down significantly, which was critical. The former president, Robert Mugabe, was not prepared to really act on that. And that's probably the reason why Honorable Chinamasa was removed as Minister of Finance at the time, because I know as somebody that wanted to cut down on costs. He had already done that by retrenching 2,000 ghost workers from the youth ministry. And now he's gone up to 3,700. That's critical. That is important in terms of cutting down on government expenditure. What's also important is the expenses that government was incurring in terms of permanent secretaries, civil servants getting packs as if they were, in private entities, yet they were serving the government. That's not to say that they must not be well taken care of, but a system must be put in place. I believe the choice of Honorable Chinamasa is critical because he was already dealing with the IMF reforms, which are critical. IMF has got to work with somebody who they know will be disciplined enough to do with the reforms. You cannot do without the outside world, and I think the president, Mnangagwa, was very clear in terms of re-engaging with the international community that we had not been dealing with. So the first point of engagement is to conform to the reforms required by IMF. What is critical as well is to understand that the president's ways of doing things certainly must be applauded. I'll give you an example. He said he hit the ground running, and I said the ministers must hit the ground sprinting because he already had taken off running, so they need to catch up with him. They must always be ahead of him. He's a man of his word, he's a man who's disciplined, he's a man who pays attention to detail. A good example is how he picked up the KG6 renaming to Josiah Magama Tongogara Barracks, where he picked it up that Zimbabwe was not written properly, where he even said Comrade Mnangagwa must be the president. That I was really impressed with. Let me also share something with you that on Thursday the Speaker, in announcing that the ROC members that had been chosen by the president, as it's the norm, he had written the letter on that day and he responded to the letter on the same day. The Speaker did tell us that I hope we've learned from this. This is how efficient the president has been. The letter is written on the same day, receives it, he responds on the same day. Well done, Mr. President. I think you are certainly leading by example, and I hope the ministers follow suit. This just goes to show that if these ministers are sleeping on duty, certainly they won't be on duty for a very long time. I also want to comment on the permanent secretaries that have been appointed. Permanent secretaries must be technocrats, and I think he's come up with seasoned technocrats who are able to advise the ministers on what to do. Ministers are politicians, so I have confidence in all those permanent secretaries. They've been given the right portfolios too. But sadly, for sport, and I say this with a heavy heart, being a sports person I am, I was expecting the permanent secretary for sport to be a technocrat in sport. We still have people who are practitioners of sport, who have PhDs in sport, who can guide this government to a great sporting nation that we want to be. But without them being given these opportunities, not much will happen. So you've got the minister who's a politician, and I respect him. You've got the permanent secretary who's not a technocrat in sport. So sport suffers, and I think it's something that needs to be really looked into. I also want to talk about the visit of the First Lady, Mnangagwa, to Goma Hospital. Good move, Amai. You know, you surprised them. You did not tell anybody you're going there, but certainly that is something which we expect from the mother of the nation, to go to where the heartbeat of the nation is. Heartbeat Yamadzmai and Amai, the health sector, which is critical. I have no doubt that she will certainly be, she will emulate what Amai Salim Mugabe used to do in creating the SOS village. I see her creating the same in terms of hospitals, in terms of the cancer institutions in this country. So well done for that. Good job, good show. I equally want to talk about how the market responds to such great movements by the president. Is that the black market rate was 90%, it has gone down to 30 to 40%. The prices for the goods has equally gone down. It shows that people are responding well to what the president is doing. And we want to thank the president for walking the talk in many things. Corruption remains a critical thing, and I plead to those ministers in cabinet who have allegations of corruption to please step down and not affect the smooth running of this country. The president does not know everybody about everyone, but if people raise the red flag, I repeat, it's important for you to substitute yourself and to tell the coach that you're not feeling too well and you shall not add value to the team. If anything, you shall spoil the team. We don't want any party poopers. I equally want to be able to say that the issues relating to rule of law are critical in investor confidence. The Provincial Affairs Minister for Manicaland did well in giving back the farm to the Swart family, who had been given a farm under Digma Samtasa when he was Minister of Lands. We don't want a situation where we renege and we repeal or we totally reverse decisions made by other ministers in the same government. It was a ZANU-PF government that gave the white person a letter, and there was no point in repossessing that. We must be talking about production. And like Tongogara said, we fought for a nation where black and white kids must be playing together. Equally, this economy must be shared and every person who's productive must be part of it. In terms of the foreigners coming to this country, Zimbabweans, let's position ourselves. We don't need to have a law to partner them, but let's be able to position ourselves so that we equally make money. The business people who have done well for Zimbabwe out there, the James Manyikas of this world, who was the vice chairperson of the Obama Advisory Council, should equally come and assist and advise the president. Strive Masiwa should be here. James Makamba should be here. Mutuli Ngwe should be here. You don't have to be part of the government structures. You just have to be Zimbabwean to ensure that this country moves forward with the expertise that you have, which God has given you. This country is looking good. The train is moving, and I'm urging all Zimbabweans to jump on this train because you don't want to be left behind like the land reform. I say this because I know people regret for not having gotten land. Let's all rally behind this new dispensation, which is working so well. I want to thank you, Zimbabweans, for the confidence that you're showing. I was in my constituency today in the rural ward 15. It's amazing the spirit, the mood people have. No negative energy, please, positive energy all the way. President, you keep it going. Good show. And thank you for meeting me after I complained to you that I was not happy with the cabinet, but you clarified a lot of issues to me. I'm here to serve the people of Norton, but equally to remain Zimbabwean and to represent all people of Zimbabwe. Let's not have too much bureaucracy in people wanting to meet ministers or the president, going through many people. You people must learn to approach their offices. If you want to see the president, go to Mutapa, let the secretary be called and make an appointment, and surely he will come back to you. I want to thank you for the faith that you've shown in this new dispensation. Zimbabwe, let's keep it going. Like I've said, Chinu Chedu, from the People's Commissar, Honorable Temba Mliswa. Chino Ramba Chiri Chino Chedu. Good day, Zimbabwe. Let's keep going.